Thank you so much for watching and subscribing to our YouTube channel. And this has been Teacher Malu bringing you informative lecture videos about grammar. And today, guys, we will focus on be going to plus the base form of the verb. And as you can see in here, there is an example sentence. She is going to visit the dentist. Yes, and in here we have got the be verb and then the going to plus the base form of the verb. So before I formally start with this structure in the English grammar, I would want to emphasize shortly the difference between will and be going to, since there are many students who are confused about the difference between these two. Now let's proceed to the difference between will and going to. I'm just going to tell you about the important things between these two. So let's have first will. We can use will when we want to talk about things with absolute certainty. So meaning it's sure. Or when we want to do something at the time of speaking. Or to make it easier, when we decide to do something at the time of speaking. I have got in here an example sentence. I feel cold. I think I will put my jacket on. So it expresses a situation that is about a decision made by the speaker at the time of speaking. So as you can see in here, we have got the will plus the base form of the verb. While be going to is used more to emphasize our decisions or the present evidence. So in here, I have an example, the second sentence. We are now almost late, so we are going to take a taxi. So in this case, there is an emphasis about the decision of the subject, which is we, that's the subject, that they are now almost late. So they decided that they are going to take a taxi. So that is why they said, so we are going to take a taxi. Again, as I told you a while ago, and I would want to check if you really remember. And in here on the board, I wrote the difference between these two. So, will, again, is used when we are talking about something with absolute certainty. Certainty from the word certain, so meaning you are sure about something. And when we have the be going to plus the base form of the verb, it is useful when we want to show emphasis, or in other words, when we want to emphasize our decisions and or the evidence in the present. Teacher, what does the word evidence mean? To make it easy, this talks about certain signs. Certain signs meaning sure signs which you can see. So, do you understand? Okay. And now let's proceed to the main focus of this lecture, which is the be going to plus the base form of the verb. So, how do we use this structure? Again, guys, please remember this is not a tense. This is a special structure that we use when we want to talk about the future. So let's have the first usage. We actually use be going to when we talk about intentions. So intentions is like plan. We intend to do something. So when we planned and when we decided to do something before speaking, then we can use the be going to plus the base form of the verb. Like in the example sentence here. I am going to study master's degree next month. So the subject here, which is I, have decided before she said this to her friends or his friends rather. Now, notice guys that in the example sentences on the board, I have the positive one. Like in the first one, I didn't use not, just I'm going to, and then the second there is the not going to. because we can use be going to for positive or negative sentences. Okay, so now let's have the second example. They are not going to visit the cinema tonight. And the second usage is we use be going to plus the base form of the verb for predictions. Predictions meaning guesses about the future. So you must remember, guys, that these predictions must be based on a present evidence. I already said the meaning of evidence at the start of this lecture. When we say evidence, these are sure signs that something is going to happen. So in here, I have got two example sentences. Let's have number one. The sky is very dark. It is going to rain. Our subject in here is the sky, so we are using the be verb is. And in the second connected sentence, it refers to the same subject, the sky. It is going to rain. Teacher, why are we using going to rain? Why not will? It is because there is a very obvious evidence. For example, I'm outside and I can see the sky is really dark. So the dark sky is what we call the evidence or the sure sign that something is going to happen. And then the last example, she's going to bump the wall. Is because the subject is she, just what? Going to bump. Bump, that's the base form of the verb. So we can say she's going to bump the wall maybe because the subject she is walking, but she didn't care about the path where she was walking. So some people already can see that she is going to really bump the wall. So that is an example of a present evidence. That's all for today's lecture, guys. And if you want to see more of our lecture videos, please watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye-bye!